Hello and welcome. My name is Christian Lee, business journalist at SBC Media, and today it's my pleasure to say I'm joined by Joe Lee, the head of strategy and performance at AK Bets. Yesterday, Joe was part of a panel focused on how operators can build up to promoting the US presidential election in 2024. How was the panel and how was your first day at SBC Summit Lisbon, Joe?
Yeah, great first day in Lisbon, Christian. It's a really wonderful city for an event like this. As you discuss with plenty of people, lots going on, lots of stands, plenty of people to meet. Can be a little bit sensory overload, and for us from the UK and Ireland, a little warmer than a trip to London at this time of the year. But generally, really, really positive. The panel discussion was enjoyable. Lots of good points made, and now we're just looking forward to rolling things up and getting going for this home stretch for the US election.
Yeah, definitely. As we sort of discussed before, it sort of ratcheted up in recent times with a couple of assassination attempts, a couple of interesting debates between the candidates. So as an operator, how do you go about building up to this sort of event, and how does it differ from the building up and marketing of sporting events?
Yeah, there are differences. Obviously, AK Bets is a new entrant in the online sportsbook world. We're online about 18 months now. We also have an on-track presence in Ireland as well. For us, it's important to focus on where we see our differentiators against the other competitors. So we focus on big prices, big limits, and we also have customer service that's a cut above the rest. So the US election, in terms of a one-off mass market event, is a really good opportunity for AK Bets to highlight those differentiators to our customer base and to acquire new customers at the same time.
Politics can be a delicate matter for many, and as mentioned, being a sort of newer operator, does that allow you to take more chances on the markets that you're offering, whereas bigger operators can be sort of more sensitive to the challenges that may face?
I don't really have the concerns around politics that some others may have. There's a lot of discussion about, does betting on politics influence the outcome of an election? The media have been running opinion polls for as long as people can remember. They poll people and they get a percentage outcome and potential prediction of what's going to happen. And a betting market is no different than that. It is probably, there's an argument to say that a betting market is more accurate than an opinion poll, because ultimately people are risking funds, staking based on their opinion. But at the end of the day, all these markets are just opinions. Like in terms of offering politics, no real concerns. As we discussed on the panel yesterday, there can be outliers in these scenarios which arise due to, for example, if Donald Trump is not successful in November, there is a possibility that he won't concede and he drags things out in a very Donald Trump type way. And they're the type of issues that arise with politics that might not necessarily arise with your traditional markets like sports, because a football match is 90 minutes long plus extra time. It's compartmentalized. Everybody knows how it works and they understand it. If you have somebody in a US presidential election market who doesn't agree to what the result actually is, it's very difficult to get to a point where there've been issues in the past with settlements and stuff like that. But obviously operators, as these things arise, have gotten more used to what can potentially happen. And the goal for AK Bets and other operators is ultimately to be as fair and balanced as possible in these type of scenarios to customers. So, the last thing we want is a situation where things drag on or there is an issue. We put the customer first. That is always the focus, and we make things as easy as possible for them.
That's definitely true. Didn't even think about the fact that, as well as Donald Trump is unpredictable, but I didn't even think about the fact that could affect your markets, that you might just say, no, I don't believe in the election result, I'm going to carry on.
Yeah, I think, ultimately the election result, what will happen, if we get specific about the US election, there is an electoral college. They meet in December. Obviously, the vote is earlier than that. It's a number of weeks after. And once that is official, the result will be belt and braces official. Ordinarily, what happens in a non-Donald Trump cycle in the US is the election results roll in, your mainstream broadcasters like CNN or NBC call the result, the losing candidate concedes, and everything is done in 24 to 48 hours.
And hopefully that will be the case this time.
Hopefully that will be the case. He might win.
Maybe, you never know. Now, with offering a market, the goal is to acquire customers and then move on to different verticals. What customer retention strategies can be used to move them betters over to different areas of the business?
Yeah, one of the key focuses for AK Bets in terms of these kind of mainstream mass market grade A events like a US election is to be front and center on price. So we will not be beaten by any sportsbook in the market when you're looking at the price for Harris or Trump on the US election, and also the other candidates who are still potentially in the running. Thereafter, you just want customers to look at these markets, be aware that we are best price, and that then extends into other areas when they're potentially looking at another betting opportunity down the track. Obviously, as well, intertwined with that, you're looking at the depth and breadth of markets that you offer, particularly on politics. If somebody's coming in through that vertical, you want to make sure that they can see plenty of other markets and have opportunities. And then there is ultimately as well the cross-sell opportunity into other sportsbook markets and other product offerings on AK Bets. And as I say, our main goal is price, and we want to position ourselves where price is very important, and we're looking for customers who are price oriented.
Of course, and one of the other options, I suppose, is looking at other major non-sporting events that could be on the horizon. In your opinion, what are some of the events that operators can target as new markets?
Yeah, I think in terms of new markets, obviously there are plenty of other political markets that can potentially be brought into the mainstream. I guess what they lack and what politics has lacked in the past are characters such as Donald Trump. So ultimately, once somebody like that is involved in a market such as this or an event such as the US election, you essentially end up in a scenario where it is a mass market event. So, extended family of mine, extended family of yours, all of a sudden they are interested in politics, they're interested in what the market is doing, and that is as a result of this kind of intertwining of reality TV and real world politics, and that's where we ultimately are at there.
You mentioned about Donald Trump turning into a mass market event. How can operators look at jumping on these trends as quickly as possible to offer the markets to the people that may be interested?
Yeah, so obviously there's a few different channels. At AK Bets, we pride ourselves in communicating with customers. We have a trader chat function. We're very active on social media, and we're very responsive to requests from customers. So there is that type of channel available to people. Certainly, if customers are asking us for a particular market or a particular event, irrespective of what it is, we'll certainly consider and make it available for betting within the realms of reality. So we're big believers in engaging with our customer base and giving them a service that is better than the service they currently receive from other operators, and being responsive and agile when it comes to not only customer requests, but obviously customer market requests and everything else in that space. In terms of looking at trends, ultimately you're trying to serve as a customer, and the trends will come from the customer base. So you leverage that as much as possible. And if you have a situation where there is open communication and very much two-way back and forth between the customer and the operator, you're in a position to leverage any potential trends and identify them early in the cycle.
Yeah, that's some really interesting stuff. Thank you. I think it's a lot of stuff there that operators can really consider to take forward as a way of acquiring new customers, looking at new markets. We'd just like to finish by thanking you for joining me today, and enjoy the rest of your time at the summit.
That's great. Thanks very much, Christian.
Thank you.